Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Bergs and Bungees. Bear versus man conversation. I can't even believe this is a conversation. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
You know, we have been having this bear versus man conversation for a few weeks now on social media. And the women are very loudly saying that they will gladly choose seeing a bear in the woods versus seeing a man. They are very loudly in the comment section across social media choosing the bear versus the man. And men are just loudly having this conversation. I mean, tone deafly having these conversations at us and not necessarily listening to women. And it has been very, very good PR for the Bears. It's very pro bear propaganda out there simply because men don't listen to women. I did my own poll, and just within one day, less than a day, it's been 16 hours over on my Bourbon Bougie community on YouTube. I had over 1,200 votes, and 94% of them said that they would rather encounter a bear than a man.
That is crazy, guys. They really think bears are like cuddly dogs or something? Like, even a wolf would destroy you. Imagine a bear. Have you guys not seen the videos of a bear just swiping a woman's face off with one quick swipe? Like, bears are dangerous. Way more dangerous than men. Bears will almost automatically attack depending on, what kind of bear it is and if there's, cubs around and stuff like that. Men, you just think men are just 99.9999% all predators that are going to be worse than bears? How is this even a conversation? The propaganda bears, who's on the bear side right now? God dang.
In the woods.
We need them on our side.
Some of the comments. Bears are predictable. Men are not. The Princess Brat said, I read up on what to do if you encounter a bear. Most animals don't want anything to do with you and avoid you, unlike men. Susan says the bear will avoid you. You'll have to avoid the man. The bear will only bother you if she has children, and the man's in the woods avoiding his. Okay.
Wow.
TK says, I wonder if they make movies about men killing people in the woods, but not about the bears doing the same. Wanderlust Homebody says, I asked my husband this question too, and even he said a bear. They are the most predictable. Rainbow Unicorn says, 3 men. I'd rather encounter Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. Brolivia says, Bri Olivia says, anyone picking option 2 is an XY. Little do they know they should choose the bear.
Like, I understand the predictability of bears part. I get that, actually. I understand that most bears, they're not going to attack. Most of the time, they're just trying to rummage for food and, you're just kind of in the way. But to think that bears are safer than men, that's the crazy part. That's where they think just because a bear is predictable, men are just 99% predators. This is exactly what women are saying. That men are automatically going to be worse than bears? Automatically?
Chronic Fatigue says, the bear doesn't hate me, feel entitled to anything, isn't angry because of life, isn't angry at me because I'm probably this or that. That annoys him. Isn't annoyed at me because of how I'm dressed.
What?
Doesn't hate me because of what I probably am. Or
this projection is crazy.
Doesn't think I deserve bad. Won't wonder if he could get away with it if he did whatever he wanted with me.
It's such a projection of the type of men these women deal with. Like, these women really deal with the top echelon of nasty bears.
Won't enjoy the power of me having no protection from him and is completely dependent on him and completely at his mercy.
Projection.
It wouldn't lure me out of the comforting thing that I wanted to hear, that he wouldn't harm me. Then
The These are all the comparisons you're using to compare that a man is versus a bear?
Turn on me when I fully trusted and was trapped. The bear would just lumber by, minding his own business unless I
A
tried.
lot of people seem to think this, and I don't believe it's true. There's bears that are hungry, and if they're hungry and they see something that they can eat, they're gonna attack.
To approach or make him feel threatened or was in his way, or if I have food. The bear is less psychologically distressing. There you have it. This was some of the comments on my page. Now, many people know, and I talked about the fact that I got demonetized for a day last week. Well, this person, Eric Blackman, said on a video of mine, it wasn't about the bear, but he said in general, well, at least you can't make money on your black men hate speech on this platform because for whatever reason, this type of person thinks that I'm only specifically talking about black men. When we're talking about men on this page, I am pulling experiences from women all throughout social media, and these are
Okay.
global situations.
And again, it's literally the projection that all of you women are dating very similar men, very conniving, very fuckboy, very psychopathic men. But you seem to think all men are like this. Remember, society is full of men. You aren't getting attacked constantly or harassed constantly by every single man. So the thought that men are not as predictable as women is actually kind of stupid. Because the predictability that you guys seem to want to predict is the same type of man. So I agree that the top 10 echelons of men are berry men, or whatever the fuck you want to say it, are probably going to do those things. I'll admit that. But to think that that all men are like that, and then the 1 or 2% of 3 or 5% of bears that won't do anything to you is going to be the majority of all bears, you're crazy. If it was a polar bear, you are instantly dead. Instantly dead. Doesn't fucking matter what, where, how you pretend to like fucking be dead or anything. The polar bear will eat you alive. No questions asked.
And I let this person know, good morning, I have my ads back. I was demonetized for a day. And he says, looks like I have a lot of work to do. Let the dusting begin. So instead of this person taking the opportunity to know and understand that no, I'm not just singling out black men, that I'm not even disparaging black
I think it's worse that she's disparaging all men. So
men, that or men in general. Um, I'm holding up women's perspectives. I am amplifying women's stories. And some of these things are not good in how men treat women. And men simply don't want people like me speaking. I said to him,
no, you know what, girl? I agree with you. The men that you're dealing with are probably bad men. Yeah, they treat you shitty. But you pick these particular men. There's plenty of good ones. Stop thinking that all men are just this bad. That's crazy. If all men were this bad, society would not be where it is. Men would just be raping women constantly. Men would be just doing all the things they want to do to women constantly. If men were as predictable as you seem to think they are, or unpredictable as you seem to think they are. No, society is held up by good men, not bad men.
I share women's experiences. If you want a better reputation, be better humans. And this man, like the many men in throughout these social media streets, don't want to be better. They just want to silence us. Anyways, Edward Blackman, he was I have blocked him from my page. I just took this screenshot because it is indicative of
See,
how
it's sad that she has to block the man. I don't block anybody really. I let all the comments flow. YouTube deletes whatever the YouTube deletes. Don't ever blame me on deleting comments because I don't do that shit. And because she can't take a little bit of criticism, like people are gonna criticize. That's what it is. So you're gonna block everybody that criticizes you? Like, come on, girl. I don't think what he said is all that bad, but I can see why you don't like what he says.
they think. They think that shutting me down, shutting other women down, is going to stop us from feeling these ways when they could just be better humans. But they would do anything.
No, we can't. Because we're already good humans. You just keep dealing with the bad ones. This is the problem. And you keep projecting that all of them are the same as us. I'm going to keep repeating this on this video because I'm obviously going to tag you in this video. So you might want to reply or whatever it is. I'm not being mean about anything. I'm just like telling the truth. Most men out there aren't horrible, rapey, predator men.
Anything except be better. Now, I want to talk about this woman in her story. She was talking about how she would choose a bear over a man because she works in bear country. And she says she's done this for years. She works outside doing something with power lines or something like this. And this man made this comment saying, yeah, but a bear would straight up rip your throat out and eat your arms while you're still conscious. And these kind of conversations, these men are simply not hearing women. But what is
It's also you women are not hearing men. Did you think there weren't bears all over the place before society was built? And why there's so little bears now? And why there's so little bear attacks? Because men kept bears in check. Like we kept bears in check so much that the brown bear in California almost became extinct. That's how much men have destroyed bears to make sure that it was safe overall for women. This is the part where I'm like a little bit confused on that. Because, again, there've always been bear. There used to be much more murderous animals out there in the world. And men tamed them and eliminated a lot of them. Some good, some bad, men do good things, men do bad things too. I'm not saying we should have extinct everything, but we have extinct quite a few animals that were harmful to our society, harmful to humans.
it's doing is creating the space where women keep running in and are talking to other women. Women are having these conversations about how they feel uncomfortable. And I think that it's going to help other women get more prepared. We're saying these things out loud, and other women won't have the opportunity to be so naive about their nature. She says, I choose the bear every day. Every day. She works outside, and she said that she knows she's been trained on what to do with the bears, but she would still choose the bears over men. On my YouTube page, I am going to show her video. It should be for fair use because I do social media commentary on what women are encountering in this day and age, in this life, and what we need to do to stay safe. We need this awareness, and we need
Is this really an awareness? You guys compared us to bears when it wasn't even necessary that it was needed to even have this conversation. But you guys wanted to just to make men look even worse, to make men look like savages, that we are worse than bears. That's the crazy part. That to me at least, how I view this whole conversation. What if I just said, you know what? I think monkeys make better moms. And I rather pick a monkey to be the mother of my child than a mom than a human woman. It would be very similar to that in a sense. This is it is a little different because of the mom factor thing, but it's very similar because you're just comparing us to savage animals that kill things, but you would rather be with a savage animal than a civilized man.
to keep hammering these things home. And this is very pro bear propaganda that I didn't know was going to be happening in 2024, but we're all coming out very pro bear this
It
2024.
does feel like pro bear couple propaganda.
These men are still talking to me like I need more information about bears to answer a hypothetical question, and not bear over man is not a decision I actively make every day. So let's talk about it. Every woman who's ever had car trouble and waited an hour in a more dangerous place for their friend to get there instead of accepting the help of a random man knows what it's like to choose the bear. Every woman who's went running at night and decided on high vis or not, whether they make themselves to where they are visible to predators or accidentally get hit by a car, knows what it's like to choose the bear. to not have a run-in with a bear. I just need to make myself more audible so they stay away from me. But if men hear me and they think that I'm alone, they are going to wonder why I'm there. They're going to take up my time, or worse, I'm at risk, serious risk. I can't wear a bear bell. That's what solo hikers wear. So I listen to an audiobook at full volume.
Again, so all men are just ready to swipe, rape, pillage, and murder? Like all men are just ready to do this at any time in the wild like this?
Hopefully, through the trees, they'll think it's multiple people and leave me alone. If you have to go to the bathroom while you're on a trail crew, the etiquette is to take your hard hat off, you put it on the side of the trail, and then you go straight in. You're accounted for, and people aren't going to go over there, right? If I am by myself, I take my hard hat and my high vis off, put it on the side of the trail, and then I go the other way because I don't want to be found or more visible in a vulnerable situation. I am choosing not only the bear, but somebody probably finding me later over trusting men. This is my bear spray. I carry it all the time. It's
Okay, if you're comparing a bear and over trusting men, I can understand where this conversation is coming from. But again, you're choosing the men that you're over trusting. Not all men feel this way. Not all men are as evil as women are making us out to be. I'm just defending men. I'm not saying women are evil or, like I can understand the conversation because women really think wildlife is just so predictable. And I don't understand why. Because again, men have to tame the wilderness, tame the world to build cities and society to where it is. So you guys are protected from these unknown dangers.
never for bears. This is the machete I carry with me in the field. It is very useful, and I chose a very basic...
You really think you're going to be able to out machete a bear? Is this what I'm hearing? What the fuck?
Model with no serrations or extra hooks or doohickeys on this side. So everything on this side of the blade is safe, and everything on this side of the blade is not. This is my rock hammer. This is the loop it hangs off of my belt from. They're super useful in the forest, but a lot of people aren't used to seeing them. So I get two kinds of questions about it. People say, what do you use it for? And the joke answer used to be that I just found the clickety-clack of a 7.5-inch steel spike soothing. And then I would tell them what I used to use it for. But now I wrap this in string because of the second kind of question, which is, why do you have it? Which was men that associate this with their strong grandfathers, and they can't compute that a woman is holding it. I have to spend time making myself less visible so my time is not consumed by misogynistic men. It is lose-lose. The one...
Whoa. You're making yourself less visible? I don't think most men are looking for you in the sense, lady. I'm sorry.
One time I really make my presence known is when I have a work vehicle on the side of the road, a bunch of cones, maybe a blinking surveyor sign or a work being done, because people will assume it is a man. Men have more respect for that imaginary male surveyor than they do with me in full high-vis and a clipboard on the side of a road. And here's the deal. I can make all these really informed decisions about my own personal safety and then carry it out to a T, and it is still going to be overrun by the aggressive audacity of men. I told a colleague I was going to do this short series counting down the scariest times I've had working in the woods, and she asked, oh, where's that near miss in Wilkinson sit? And I said, nowhere, because there's been so many of these, I forgot about that one. I had done everything right. I had signs out at the only entrance to this property. It was huge forested area, and I'm out there in the trees by myself, and I hear the crack of a rifle, and then men swearing, and about 7 elk ran past me. Close. I had to make a...
Okay. Do you not realize why men hunt these things? Because it becomes a problem. It becomes an overpopulation issue. And then they run into the road and cause accidents. So men are actually kind of incentivized to hunt some of these animals down to cull down the population. That's from what I know from certain states. So, again, so men hunt. Why are you comparing hunters to, a bear? A hunter is there to either sport, I admit, which isn't the best thing to be doing, but sometimes they're doing it because they actually eat these animals. Like they actually use the animals as products and things like that. They're not just there just to kill.
Snap decision on whether to make my presence known or not, but I realized I was probably too close to the elk still to be safe, and so I yelled out, what are you doing? We're working on the utilities, in hope that they would think that there was more of us. When I called it in, the safety officer was like, are you sure it was a gunshot? It's not elk season. because you guys all still fucking refuse to believe how dangerous you all are.
Oh, okay. I'll admit on that one.
Arms where you're still conscious, you don't understand. Listen, I have worked in bear country for almost a decade now. I have had safety meetings about bears and mountain lions and hornets and what I'm supposed to do if I find a box of meth. I have never had a safety meeting about what I'm supposed to do when I realize the guy from the water district has been watching me through binoculars. I choose the path that has bark stripped away.
All right, girl, calm down. I don't think men are trying to spy on you with binoculars in your orangey whatever thingy out while you're out there, girl. You're saying a little bit too much. I'm not saying you're ugly, but
Off of trees where bears have been licking the sap instead of the open trail that is visible from the road. I choose the bears every day. It's not a hypothetical.
really.
So for some of the comments on the post, Molly Elizabeth says the fact that so many of them, as in the men, are picking this fight is doing more PR for the bears than anything. And the creator said, for real, I've never been more pro-bear in my life. Aaron Saunders said, I would actively roll
I'm
myself
confused by
in
the conversation in
blackberries
general.
and stand upwind from
I'm doing this particular topic because you guys mentioned it to me while I was on vacation. Someone sent, like, I want you to cover the bear versus man conversation. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What bear versus man conversation?
bear. The Missy R says, I want a t-shirt that says pro bear. Dylan says, exactly. Hell, I looked it up. I'm taking the damn bear and we are hiding together. Diane wants to know where our pro bear t-shirts are. Kuzka's Poison says, for real, I've asked over a dozen men why they are mad at us for how men have made us feel instead of being mad at men who have made us feel this way. None have.
We can't be mad at the men that made you feel this way because you chose to deal with these men majority of the time. There's accountability on your side too, ladies. We can't stop every bad man. We don't know that every man is bad or what they do. That's impossible for good men to know these things. You are picking the bad men, experiencing the bad men, and we know you guys do. We just can't do anything about it because it's your choice. Your body, your choice, whatever the fuck feminists want to spout out, like equality.
Answered. I really would like for men to answer that question. People get mad at us holding
Good thing I just answered it for you.
a mirror to behaviors, not the behaviors. Make it make sense. And the person at the bottom says, I'm voting bear in this election this fall. Oh man, there's so many good social media conversations happening these days. I want you guys to chime in. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Shout outs to Burbs and Bungie. I don't think she was that disrespectful in talking about how men and things were. I actually thought I liked the conversation a little bit. I just think it's weird that, men see the savagery of wild animals and you're comparing the savagery of wild animals to men. And I believe that's why a lot of men are having some kind of issue about this. And you're also comparing the top echelon of men that you're dealing with that treat you guys this way, that make you guys feel this way, to all men. Again, this is why most men are good men, and we don't like being trashed in a global scale like that when not all men are doing these bad things, right? Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao. Drizzle, drizzle.